Dike, Mbredike Eji Amadike. What's up, family and friends? Welcome to the Woke Nation, our nation of factual truth, where we feel free to share knowledge and spread the knowledge of factual truth without fear, without favor, and without feint. Where we encourage us to live our lives and live it well through the knowledge of factual truth, because it's our lives. And personally, I encourage you to enjoy your life. You have to. Don't let the confusion that confuse people sell get to you. Don't buy anything that's selling. You don't have to waste your time arguing with somebody that believes that there is a God that created them, but this God is watching the suffering. Then this God will punish you for not believing their bullshit. That's nonsense. A God that cannot help solve their problem can punish you because you don't believe. I tell them, if there is God, I will know God. I don't have to believe in God. Any God you believe in does not exist. And as I've been saying, the God you worship is beneath you. I want you to think about that, especially we Africans. Think about that. If the God you worship is not beneath you, He wouldn't need you to speak for it, He wouldn't need you to fight for it. But who are the people, or who are the ones speaking and fighting for God? People that worship God, people that believe in God. So the God they worship is beneath them. That God cannot do anything himself. That God always needs them to go preach, to go teach, to go warn people, to go do deliverance, to go do whatever they call it. And I want to share this I thought, who created you? Because that is one of the silly questions that you hear from believers in God, worshippers of God. Instead of them to greeting Sabbath, instead of them to have a rethink and at least be honest to themselves and ask themselves this honest question: where is the God that created me? And okay, why can't I see that God? Especially when they say that God is all powerful. How can you be all powerful, but it's impossible for you to show up? They try to defend this God, which is their illusion, and the other beliefs and faith they have, which is actually based on the illusion, delusion, and hallucination. So they're doing everything, even to the extent of trying to blackmail you or um, falsely accuse you, telling people bad things about you, being against you. The last thing I will do is to be against somebody because they don't want to accept the factual truth. You know, like some people that used to argue with me, calling me names, are now, woke. So, and I never say, oh, when you wake up, make sure you apologize. No. And when I see their post, I share it. I'm overjoyed because we are in this together. We are not ourselves yet. So we are trying to wake up to be ourselves. When we be ourselves, that's when you will see us regain our position in the world. We no longer be slaves. We no longer be waiting for United Nations or United Kingdom, America or China or any other country. We are the richest continent. We are the richest people. We are the richest in everything. It is not a gift to us. We are part of the nature, and there is nothing richer than the nature. There's nothing greater than the nature. There's nothing better than the nature. Nature is above everything you believe, above everything you claim, above everything you defend, above everything. You don't need to defend nature. It's like me now trying to defend the sun. No. Why should I defend the sun when everybody's under the sun, enjoying the sun? The sun has not asked anyone to worship it. The sun has not asked anyone to pay homage to it. The same thing goes to nature. In nature, there is no such thing as belief. In nature, there is no such thing as faith. In nature, there is no such thing as worship. No. What you see in nature is innovation, invention, people building things. And that's what Africans were doing. Builders have peace. It is thieves, the thief that come to steal, kill, and destroy, they are the one that don't have peace. And that's why everywhere they invaded, go check, there's no peace there. Everywhere they established that their system, whether it's called white supremacy or Christianity or Judaism or Islam or religion, wherever you find their establishment, there's no peace there. Although they claim to be peaceful, while their religion is based on sword, they possess the land, they kill people, and they take over their land through sword, not through preaching. Africans did not become Christians, Muslims, and Jews because the foreigners came and preached to them. No, they killed us, they forced us. But remember that saying, he who fights and run away lives to fight another day. So when is another day that Africans will rise up and fight? Our ancestors fought. That's we fought. And you can still see the traces of those who actually fought. White people when they invaded, as Arabs and as Europeans. You can see they are the ones you hear saying that they are waking, that they are woke, they abandon spirituality, abandon religion, because they want to go back to who they used to be before the foreigners came. Africans were not creatures. Africans never worshiped any god. Africans never thought about any god. It were when the invaders came, they forced Africans to begin to worship God. Believe no, it's fairy tales that Africans tell. It's a fairy tales. You know, where you can have animals with millions of legs or hundreds of legs. I mean, like a lion. You see animal with different types of heads. A lion face, or lion head, man's face, or man's head, horse face, or horse face. You know, those things are fairy tales. But the foreigners came and made Africans to accept those things as real. Until today, you see Africans thinking that spirituality is their root. No, science is our root. And that's why they left you with spirituality and took science. Because they know with spirituality you cannot do anything but confusing yourself and thinking you are making haste way. So I'm calling us to wake up Africa. So I want to drop this quick one because somebody commented on my post, you know, and he came in boss and telling me, asking me, every believer asked me this question. You made a post, say there is no God, trash God. Then they come. They don't know they are coming to speak for that God or question you for that God, prove that you are right. There is no God. Because if there is God, God will question you himself. God will come to you himself. There is no God, my people. And before you ask me who created me, ask yourself, where is the God that created you? Why you can't see that God? Yet you're forcing it on others to believe it. You only believe. I believe there is God. That's all you have. You cannot see anybody that say, I know there is God. You can never see anybody. That's the first thing they say. They say, no. They will tell you, I believe there is God. Then when you begin to question, they say, I know who I serve. No, you don't. You're a believer. And that's what you are. You have faith. You don't have knowledge. When I was a believer, I used to preach faith is a spiritual knowledge. Bullshit. No. Faith is fake. When you have faith, that's another word for ignorance. That's what faith is all about. Then confusion is fear. That's another word for confusion or for fear, confusion. Listen, when they ask you who created you, the simple answer is no one, no God, no man, no woman created you. Why they don't ask you who born you? I remember in those days, like, you know, maybe you were exchanging words with somebody, you're having issue with somebody. It's like, who born you? I think our people, when they say that, they means like, how dare you? How white people say, how dare you? Or English people say, how dare you? So they will say, who born you? Of course. And like maybe somebody is passing, a kid is passing, or a woman is passing. They will, like, some of men that are looking for who to marry. Maybe they travel to village to find a dancer, as they say, virgin, which is hard to find these days. They will say, whose child is that, or whose daughter is that, or whose son is that? Like when they see little boys running around, or when they see somebody performing in a public gathering, if they don't know, the question they will ask, whose son is that, or whose daughter is that, or whose child is that? They never say who's um who is that person's God? Who is that? Who is her God? Who is God? They never ask that. So, but I want to take you where they derive that, because they always use it to challenge you. They don't have any proof outside their book. And no book can be a proof, because book is written. Truth, factual truth is not written, because factual truth is more than one person telling you something, or even few people. When you want to talk about a people, you need to hear from all of them. You need to gather it from all of them. And that is the evil they did to us Africans. These people will see one Africa do something, they generalize it. They say all Africans. All Africans weren't believing in any God even after the invasion. You still have Africans who resisted a concept of God. They still resist till death. They did not give up. But today, you think, oh, they tell you Africans invented this, and you think it's all Africans, they invented that one thing. No, every part of Africa, they have different inventions, different civilizations. But white people want us to accept the one they want us to take, especially the one that does not favor us, but favor them. So I want to show you some of this place they always quote, and I want you to read with me again and judge. Use your brain, okay? Judge, because God cannot judge you. You can't. Okay. So Psalm chapter 14, verse 1. Even without reading it, you know what they always ask you is from there. And that is where they get their, and whenever they quote that from you, they're telling you you are a fool. Somebody asks you silly question, who created you? Then the next thing, only a fool say there is no God. And they misquote it, because even their Bible translations are changing them. In the original translation, it said, the fool has said in his heart. So the person that said this here or wrote this here is talking about himself. No one else know your heart, including God. If you say God exists, no one know your heart. And there is nothing in your heart but blood. There is nothing else in your blood. There is no hearing ability in your blood. There is no speaking ability in your blood. No, I mean your heart, sorry. Your heart only pump blood. Your heart cannot fear. Your heart cannot do anything. It's when you fear, you say, oh, my heart is running faster. Or when you do something, the blood pressure drop or something. When the blood pressure, you see the heart react. It doesn't speak. It doesn't hear anything. My heart says so. My soul says, quit so. The fool has said in his heart, but then we change, they will say the fool has said there's no God. No, that's not what their Bible said. Their Bible said the fool has said in his heart. And that is where you speak the truth within you. That's what they're thinking in their head. It's not the heart. It's what he's thinking. Yeah, with this thing happening, there's no God. With COVID-19 going on, there's no God. With this cashless policy you have in your country, it shows there's no God. In fact, chasing money or asking for money in the church prove there is no God. Because if there is God, no church will need your money. If there is God, no mosque will need your money. If there is God, no temple will need your money. If there is God, no shrine will need your money. They need your money because there is no God. The fool has said in his heart, the fool said truth within him. And that is where people say the whole truth. That's why they deceive you. When they come with smile on their face, but inside they're lying, they're lying. They are wolves, but they come like sheep. They say the fool has said in his heart, there is no God, which is truth. There is no God. There is no place any God has spoken, and there's no place any God can speak for himself. He said, the fool has said in his heart, there is no God. Because the fool, that one that speak in his heart, the fool has seen, he has witnessed, he have tested and proven that those who believe in God, if there is God, they won't be corrupt. He said they are corrupt. But they will tell you, no, it is people. Here he said the fool has said in his heart. He's talking about one person. He said there is no God. But the next word he said they are corrupt. Who are the they? Who are the him? The him there that said there is no God in his heart. According to the book, it's a person. King David, right? He said to the chief musician, a psalm of David. So David was because he was king of Israel, according to the Bible. So, but he found out the truth. He cannot speak it with his mouth because he was a fool. That's why he keep it within him. There is no God. Judging by what is going around, they are corrupt. The question, anyone that quotes this place to you, ask them, who are the corrupt people today in the world? You say worshippers of the devil. Who created the devil? God created devil, and devil become corrupt. Whatever you are or you become, if you believe someone created you, you are actually like that person, especially when you say that person created in his own image and likeness. Unless you're saying that devil is the same, equal with God. So he was not created in the image of God. He was just like God. Unless you're saying that. Which many of them will say, no, no, no. Because they will tell you there's no one like God who can battle with the Lord. Come on. Even mosquito battle with your God, God will run away. That's why mosquito give you malaria. Because if God is with you, mosquito won't give you malaria. They are corrupt. People that believe in God are corrupt. That's why the fool has said in his heart, there is no God. People that believe in God have done abominable works everywhere, like Hitler, like King, that Belgian evil king, is it Loophole or whatever they call that wicked man that dealt with us in Congo. And there is none who does good. None of them. All of them, they are doing, all their good works are evil. None of any good work you say Christianity brought to Africa is evil. Any good work you say Islam brought to Africa is evil. Any good work you say, oh, foreigners brought it to Africa is evil. None of them does good. They declare it's evil. Their good is evil and their evil is good. And that's why you're promoting their evil without knowing it is actually good. That thing you call good work, good this, good. It is evil. Western civilization is evil in Africa. The thing you're supposed to know about me or people like myself is that I am not a creature. No. A creature is a fairy. It's fairy. A creature does not have life in it. A creature cannot breathe. No. The breath is not breath of life given to you. No, it's not a gift. Life is not a gift. Breath is not a gift. Nothing natural is a gift. No. You are born. You are not a creature. You are a being. I am not also a product. I'm not a product that can be purchased. I'm not a product that can say this is the owner. I have no owner. No one owns me. I am not a product. I cannot be bought also. No God has claimed to create anyone or anything. There is no God that have show up, say that, yeah, I created this. This thing just come into my head now. When you read, I think, Matthew 22, right? Where they brought coins and questioned Jesus. Should we continue paying tax to Caesar? You know, since you seem like to be greater than Caesar. He says, show me the coins, whose inscription and the image that is on it. They say Caesar's. He said, so give it to Caesar, it belongs to Caesar. So you that said you were created in the image of God, do you see any image, any inscription of God on you? No. That's why they try to tell you, no, God gave you the heart, God gave you spirit, God gave you breath. God gave you nothing. God had no power over you. You are greater than that God they created. And that's why they cannot show that God, because that God does not exist. It's just a mere word. And people begin to dress it. They tell you the word became flesh and dwelt among us. We beheld his glory, which is your shame. Say, full of grace. Full of disgrace. Is disgrace. Another word for this grace is disgrace. Hmm. It is always people claiming to, to have this God, or claiming that to preach this God, claiming to thank this God, claiming to worship this God. This God has not shown up to claim he sent anyone, or she sent anyone, or it sent anyone. It is people. I like the way somebody said it. He said, people, their mental illness, is what makes them believe they are choosing ones, or they are sent, or they are special. But no, they are not. They are schizophrenic. They have mental problem. That's why they pray. They close their eyes, pretending there is someone they are praying to. Have you seen anyone you praying to? No. Somebody say prayer I tell my child, prayer is a child talking to or asking the father something. It's not. Prayer is not like a child asking his father something. Children don't pray to their parents. Children don't pray to their parents. In fact, parents provide for their children. You get that? When you were little, your parents were providing for you, whether they like it or not, because you are their responsibility. They are the one that gave birth to you. So they take care of you naturally. You don't need to go on your knees and say, oh, father, oh, mother, please, I want my school fees. You see how you ask your father for school fees? He said, our teacher said we must bring our school fees today or tomorrow. And then the father will not say, why you didn't close your eyes? Why you didn't kneel down? Why you didn't hit your head on the floor? Why you didn't do this? Why you didn't do that? Prayer posture, praying hand. Say slavery hand. It is always people claiming that this God exists, and then they are forcing you to believe the same thing. They're forcing you, there is God. They claim it to themselves or force it on others. There is God. There is God, the creator. How can you say you are a creature? I'm not a creature. You say, go preach. I'm not a creature. I am a living being. I don't have a creator. I don't need to fear any God. I don't need to worship any God. I don't need to believe in any God. All I need is to know what to do and do it without fear. These people claim this God created them or created you then, but they cannot see this God. They don't see how stupid that is, at least. They can't see this God. They tell you, what is the life you have? Life is a gift of God. No, it's not. If life is a gift of God, you won't have parents. Nobody have one parent. We have parents, all of us. It's so long you are living being. Whether you came through your mother vagina, or they open her belly to bring you out, or she vomit you through her mouth, you have two parents, not only father and not only mother. If God is the one that gives life, if God is the one that gives children, you won't need anyone to be your parent. Think, my people. Ask them, when they ask you who is your creator, ask them, show me who created you. Then one of the questions they always run away is, ask them, who created that your creator? Who created God? They run. They say, God created itself. Oh, so, God exists by itself. And nature does not exist by itself. I exist by myself. I was not created. My parents did not create me. My parents bore me and born me. They carried me. Don't you see your mother sometimes when you misbehave, what she said? I carried you for 9 months. He did not say, God, if God give you to your parents, your mother won't be pregnant. In fact, you won't need a mother and a father. Because as you just pray, God will give you children. Those of you that say, God, let God give you children, let me see. God does not give you, but you have been so indoctrinated and brainwashed that when you achieve something, you say it is God. God made it possible. You want people to be stupid like you. Ask them who created their creator, and you see how they will run away. Ask them, when did that God create you? When did that God create you? You say God created you. Give us the date. For the fact God cannot give you the song, somebody say, oh, the day my mother born me was the date God created me. See, stupid thing people say. You can tell me your birthday. You can show me who born you, but you cannot show me who created you. And you say the one who created you is greater than the one who born you. Stupid thing. That's why you see people disrespecting their mother but honoring God. Even their mother who born them also teach them to disrespect them and honor God or put God before them. You are cursing your child or your children when you tell them to put God first. When you tell anybody to put God first, you put pushing that person in the wrong direction where that person will suffer unnecessarily. And that's what happened wherever people believe in God. Ask them also, where was God when he created them? Show me, like you can show me the hospital where your mother born you or in a bush or whatever happened, where they can tell you that. So where was God when he created you? The location. Can they show that to you? No, because it is impossible. They don't have such knowledge. Ask them again and again, where is your creator? That's how I stop talking with them or unfriend them or block them. Tell them, if you are God or you are Jesus, don't speak. And I see you are, don't speak for themselves here, but I see your own comment. I will remove you with the comment. And I'm not playing. I'm not looking for people to like me so that how many people following you? Nonsense. Why should they follow me in the first place? Am I following them? Huh? You don't supposed to follow anyone. Anyone you are following must follow you. It was supposed to be mutual. But when it comes to all this spiritual thing and religious thing, you allow them to rot your brain. You don't think. You greet somebody good morning, they responded also. When you greet somebody good morning, they don't respond. What do? You get offended. You be like, you begin to suspect that person. But this one, you bow before somebody. That person does not bow before you. You think you are smart. You are stupid. Think. Where is their creator? Let them show you their creator. Because their book said that their creator is in heaven. Then other gods, they put other gods down, telling you other gods have this, they cannot. Okay, where is your creator? John chapter 1, verse 18 said that no one has seen this God at any time, including the Jesus they said that was in his bosom. They say, where is God? He said, he that seen me has seen God. No. He said, you are not God. He said, you were in his bosom. You are his begotten son. So a begotten son supposed to show his father that begot him. But he never, Jesus, there's no place in the Bible Jesus succeeded in showing even his own disciples. For those of you that say that, oh, Jesus speak to you in your heart, but he can't speak to everybody to see. That's the same nonsense Jesus said in the Bible. He that has seen me has seen my father. No. If everybody can see the son, everybody should be able to see the father also. But that's in the book. But in reality, no one has seen the father and no one has seen the son. Because if you want to see the real father and the real son, you have to see the real mother also with them and the real daughter also with them. Even those of you that are claiming African triad to be the original Trinity, it's anti-nature too. When it's three, it's anti-nature. The truth is four. That's why I see when they tell you four corners of the world. It's father, mother, son, and daughter. Then you're talking about nature. You're talking about balance. With three, oh, God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. He didn't say the God the Father. God the Mother. No, God the Daughter. They copied from African myth or mythology. But today you're celebrating it as true. And you're hating your brothers and sisters for that bullshit. So where is your God? Like following their Bible. Let me ask them the question. Because this thing is also in some part of Quran and Torah. Where is your God? According to Exodus chapter 20, verse 21, he said God was in the thick darkness. Is your God is in the thick darkness and you are against darkness? And you are even calling me agent of darkness. And don't you know that your God was in the thick darkness according to your Bible? And in thick darkness, that's where you see treasures. And you are calling me agent of darkness? Don't you know that you are talking against yourself? Because we are the thick darkness. And when they came, they saw God in us. They saw us as gods. But we are not. There was no God in us, and we are not gods. We are above gods. It was because of what we were doing. That's why they say, oh, you are gods. Africans never see themselves as gods or as god kings. No, Africans see themselves as original human beings. We are one with nature, walking with bare feet. You don't. It's not a must. You wear clothes. Live your life. We've seen female breasts done 3 Africans before. It's now. Even until I came to America in 2004, before woman, yeah, she don't move me anything. It's when I came to America, I see young people. You know, that time it was us everywhere in school, in classroom, they'll be showing us. I say, well, I can even till today, ass don't move me. Woman ass. What move me is Obi. Obi, Nagwea. I don't care about how many no, is when I see that breast, whether it's falling one or big one, it doesn't matter the size of the breast. I like all of them. Then your character, period. We must not stay together if we don't agree. It's simple like that. So another question. They say their God is in heaven according to Psalm 115 verse 3. So is your God in heaven? What is your God doing in heaven? Let me give you a clue. Job chapter 9 verse 23. That's exactly what your God is doing in heaven, laughing at your plight while you are suffering unnecessarily. How about your heart? Those people that claim God is in their heart, according to 1 Corinthians chapter 6, chapter 3 verse 16. Is God in your heart? If God is in your heart, why are you afraid of dying? Why are you afraid of sickness? Why are you afraid of disease? Where is your God? When you go to somebody to lend you money to start business or to do anything, where is your God? A God that cannot give you money, cannot protect you, cannot do anything for you. Any human being that gives you money is greater than that God you worship. How about in the book? You believe in the book? He said, in the volume of the book, where is written concerning me? Hebrew chapter 10, verse 7. You know how many times you have said, yeah, God is speaking to you from that book, and you do it, you find out you fail. Because there's no God speaking anywhere. There's no God anywhere. And you Africans that's trying to redefine God, saying God is consciousness, God is energy, God is your market days, God is your... That's stupidity. Stop redefining. Let God speak for himself. Until God speak for himself, let every person, every man, every woman keep short. Let Time is coming when we'll be beating people off. Immediately they say there is, we beat them all. Because that's the only way they beat God and Jesus into us. We're going to beat God out of them or out of us too. We're going to beat Jesus out of us too. I've been saying that and it will happen. There is no God anywhere in any form. It doesn't matter how you try to define it. It can never happen. God can never show up. God is invisible, visible, is man-made. No God. Whether that God is visible, whether that God is invisible, God is man-made. You have to trust God. Psalm 115, 4 to 8 is the same thing to every God. They have mouth, they cannot speak. They cannot touch me. You cannot see your God because your God doesn't exist in reality. You are above your God, and the God you believe in is beneath you again. Always, the God you believe in, the God you worship is beneath you. God never existed, my brothers and sisters. God never existed, Africans. Don't be shy away again when somebody try to use God to intimidate you. Tell them to fuck that God. And if they insist, tell them to fuck them too. Stop being afraid of what they will say or do. Kill you, they can't kill you. You're unkillable. You are above God as a human being. Trust God and live humanly. Don't be moved by their tears. Don't be moved by their rants. Don't be moved by their threats. It is time you stand your ground and say, I'm awakened African. I'm no longer a believer. I'm no longer a Jew. I'm no longer a Muslim. I'm no longer a Christian. I am who I am, African, Akebulan, the original one. And without apology, live your life naturally and enjoy it. God